What's up, guys? What's going on? We're at a really awesome site right now up here just north of San Jose, and we're at Ecovilla. So this is Stephen Brooks' site. He's kind of like the well-known permaculture guy here in Costa Rica. Throws a lot of the festivals. Also has another site that we're going to go see here on the other coast, and this place is pretty epic. It's like a permaculture community, so hold tight. Cribs, Stephen Brooks edition, Costa Rica.
So yeah, I just think the key is like things don't have to be beautiful or edible. It's like not one or the other. I think the idea is how can we merge beauty and aesthetics and food. So that's kind of what we've been doing here, as well as this community like Ecovilla is. It's 44 lots. There's about 47 homes, families that live here, and we got people from like 25 countries, and we started a school that has 40 children in it. We walk right now, we'll see the bus going around, scooping them all up. And yeah, I think how can we merge where we live with what we eat? You know, it's like okay, we have our home and it's landscaped with our pretty little landscape plants, or we have a garden and it's separate. Like I think, you know, in permaculture, we talk about edge. Like, how can we lessen this edge between where we live and what we eat? Like, we live in these like cookie cutter neighborhoods, and then our food comes from farms far away. It's like, it doesn't need to be that way. You know, it's like things are the way they are, but they don't actually need to be that way. Like, we could dissolve these differences. Like, for example, here, I mean, this is freaking beautiful. Yet there's the Brazilian spinach. You know, we got egg fruit, we've got bananas coming on, mango, of course we have the beautiful trumpet flowers. You know, this pond is just, you know, aesthetic, beautiful. Katuk everywhere. Love the katuk. We bought the property in 2006, and for a few years we were just kind of planting fruit trees. It was like a cattle meets mango farm. You could see these old big mangoes, and they had the big mangoes with cattle in between, and we just started kind of taking out every other or 2 out of 3 mangoes and just started plugging in other fruit trees, and then we subdivided it, which took many years because all the bureaucracy. And it's just amazing. Like, we really didn't even do any marketing. It was like, people are ready for this. People are ready to live differently. And you know, it's like there's always 2 things happening. There's the reality of like the physical, like how can we physically design our realities with food and with water and with electricity and with infrastructure, that with fiber optic internet, which we have. You know, how can we do that while creating community? Because the whole community reality is complex. You know, I feel like the physical side we pretty much have down. You know, it's like there's experts out there that know how to do everything, you know, but how can we really get along? How can we make decisions? How can we, you know, really figure out how to forge, you know, a new way to be neighbors and to live together. And yesterday, actually, or 2 days ago on Sunday, we had our HOA, our Homeowners Association meeting. So that's what we are. You know, it's not like, we're not like a hippie commune. We are just the planned community with permaculture principles. So our roads are made from recycled plastic, and all of our septic goes into a giant methane digester, which we can go look at. And the roads, you know, all the roads by law had to be 8 meters wide. So we said, okay, we'll make them 8 meters wide, but we'll really only make them 5 meters wide, and we'll do 3 meters of green space. So like every road is just lined with fruit trees, which we'll go take a look at. Yeah, I mean, this is our home. You know, everybody has their own lot here. They do their own things on it. So this is cashew, and what's amazing about the cashew is that it's actually, the fruit is just a swollen stem. Here, let's check it out here. Like, this is the stem that just swells into the fruit, and
you guys have no idea. This is interesting,
It's so good.
odorific for sure.
Yeah, let them smell it. Here, smell it. Come on, smell it. Get in there. So juicy.
Get your fruit ready. Woo! That was interesting.
I think what's amazing is like, anytime you eat anything, like every cashew you eat came from the bottom of the fruit like this. It's like, and don't take anything for granted.
Commercially, they just waste the fruit and they just get the nut?
You know, I don't really know commercially, but I know like in Brazil, there's a whole industry making juice.
Okay.
Most cashews I think are coming from India, and I don't know what they're doing with the juice there because I've never been to India. But yeah, every nut is one seed from the fruit.
We have a vine that grows a flower like this. Oh, that smells almost exactly the same, but I've never seen it on a bush.
This is a cool one. Come here. Show me your arm. Let's get on this side where you're a little darker.
Nice.
Tattoo fern.
That's cool. That is awesome.
Love it. Breadfruit up there. Yep. There's a water apple there loaded, totally pumping. Woo. Small, like just starting to swell. Bitty ba. And what happens is here, not so much on the Caribbean, but here they kind of lose their leaves in the beginning of the dry season. And then if you see like up there where it's starting to come back,
push new growth and flowers.
all that'll be flowers. This is Brownea macrophylla, you know, the big orange crazy flower.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Love the water features.
Cacao flowering back there. Cacao there. Cacao there. Cacao there. There's a grafted mamey apple in there. Mamey apple's one of them. I love it. Yeah. Guanabana. Bam, ba, na, na, na. Guanabana. Bam, ba, bam. Yeah, the guanabanas here don't get nearly as big as they do on the Caribbean, but they're productive. This is a breadfruit from started in tissue culture.
Really?
Yeah, we're bringing them from Orlando, from
AgriSharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right by us. They're bringing you guys breadfruit all the way here.
Well, they're not bringing them.
Okay.
They're just doing the in vitro.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is longan and it's got small fruits on it.
Nice.
See back there?
They don't need chill hours like that.
Yeah, they don't need it. They don't get. I mean, have you ever had the longans?
I love them.
Yeah.
They don't get like they do in Florida. They stay small. They have the good flavor. They just don't have as much flesh. Mm-hmm. These are all cashews, by the way. Yeah, so I mean, look at this like neighborhood of fruit trees. Oh, we can go eat some of
There's
these.
a lot of big mangoes here when you bought the property.
Yeah, there was big mangoes. There was big avocados. A lot of these cashews were here. This is a Garcinia. We just call it yellow Garcinia, but it's
Swampy or no?
It's not Wampy. It's a mangosteen relative.
Like Bakupati.
No, is it Bakupati? I don't think so.
Like it.
Look at this production on it.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
freaking
overachiever,
loaded.
huh?
It's pumping.
And then the
They're
lid of the
bright
floor,
yellow
yeah.
or orange?
You can probably pick them off the ground. All
There's
these.
a bunch on the ground right here.
That's okay. There's so many.
Here, let's check it out,
Nobody
Matt.
eats them anyways. But I just think this concept of like being on the road, you know, and
Breadfruit.
eating.
The road.
That was delicious.
Does it taste like that
Morning.
lemon drop mangosteen?
Very
Better.
similar lemon drop.
Better? You like it?
Yeah, it's
So
okay.
sweet.
That was really good. So yeah, this is recycled plastic. That's what makes the geogrid.
Great, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'd do it again. You know, I think it's cool and it's interesting, but it's been a lot of maintenance. And well, you know what the problem is maybe we should have put it in after everybody built, because what happens is so many people came in with
Heavy equipment and stuff.
and
Yeah,
it just tears it up. I don't.
Fine for your driveway.
What's that?
Works fine
Yeah, see,
for
it's
your
fine for the driveway, and that's what it was made for. It was made more for like parking lots and stuff and driveways. It wasn't really made for this, but it's cool.
So, Stephen, for the people that bought into the community, I mean, was there like a cookie cutter package you offered with the landscaping for edible landscaping, or did they have choice, or how did that work? Or they have their own?
We pretty much put in fruit trees everywhere, and we knew where the lots were, so we put them mostly on edges. And then people, when they came in, like most houses came in, it was like buy in and you're pumping fruit trees, because we planted 7 years before people bought in.
Wow. Is all this grid tie? I mean, you guys using a lot of solar out here?
Pretty much everyone's got solar cell back, but we're on the grid.
Nice.
This is black sapote. No, that's muciendra.
This is the chocolate pudding fruit, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Black sapote. It hasn't fruited here yet. We have a couple others.
Morning. Is that a miracle fruit?
Yes, good eye, dude.
Wow.
Oh, a toucan just flew right there. Shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this your elderberry?
That's elderberry, yep, the Mexicana, and then moringa there. Morning, Aaron.
So you're a little drier up here. The moringa does a little better, huh?
Well, I mean, it does great in Punta Mona. It just doesn't. It's flowers, but doesn't fruit. So we eat the flowers. I know. Look at the ripe fruit. Right?
Is it ripe?
It's not ripe, but it would ripen.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I heard you're in Florida. They're very dry. The Canastella, the egg fruit. I heard they're juicy here, huh?
This tree.
You're getting me excited.
Just freaking. I mean, look at
all the flowers. Overachiever.
Totally.
Yeah. Woo.
They're all the seeds.
Looks like we're coming up on a pretty awesome community garden over here.
This
place looks serious. I mean, if we had community gardens like this back home, oh my gosh, we could probably sell them to our HOAs.
I think it's starting to happen. I mean, I don't know if you ever heard in Georgia, that place called Serenby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's places that are starting. My good friend made that garden, started the garden there. I think more and more people are caring about their food, and it's like, and again, this whole separation of food and living, and how can we merge that, what we eat with where we live, and I think that's really our goal here. It's like, it doesn't have to be so separate, and everybody that lives here, what we all have in common is that we really care about our food, and if we could collectively grow food, let's do it. One of the things that's really interesting here is, like, if you think about like an HOA fee, what do you get for it? Maybe the maintenance of your golf course or your tennis court or your clubhouse. Like here, everybody puts their lot number and their boxes down, and every Wednesday we get literally like these boxes, it barely fits, and like overflowing with greens and kale and whatever fruits are happening. And there's usually like what's going on here. There was racks of coconuts here this week. Take coconuts. Mango time, there's boxes of avocado and avocado time. There's like, because the trees are on people's lots, but nobody can eat even a tenth of the amount of abundance that there is, so constantly just,
so this
spreading
is like
the abundance.
Community wealth sharing area.
Yeah, it's like that's the real wealth is abundant food. It's like people are starting to realize, water and food and and harmony. What's the value of harmony?
Oh man. Hey, this is pretty important over here. We got the kids area.
Yeah.
We got the tree house, the trampoline.
Oh, we have a few trampolines around the property.
It's all about the kids,
Yeah, well, it's interesting. This area over here was where the school was built, and we outgrew it, so we had to move it.
Wow.
The story of conservation is the story of waste and how it can be prevented. From a puff of smoke, throughout our land, the once beautiful forests, such as this, have become scenes of desolation. The timber is gone, and so is the wild game which once was sheltered beneath its shade. Poisonous waste is poured into our rivers, killing the fish and menacing the health of all of us.
So yeah, I mean, we're 40 something homes here, and all of our septic goes into these tanks. And what happens is, you know, it's like, I don't know if you've ever if you have a big brother or something that lights his farts on fires. It's methane. So this is kind of just like a giant stomach, and all the food, I mean, all the septic and everything is in there, and it's releasing methane, which comes up into these big giant bags, and they fill with methane. And right now we're in the process of making like a big dryer, a mango dryer, because we have way more mango than we can use, and we need to dry it. So we're in the process of doing that. So, you know, it's like in permaculture, we're constantly saying the problem is the solution. Like, think about like a city like New York City. What are there, 10 million people? And it's like, you know, 10 million people, like, let's average like a pound of poop a day. That's 10 million pounds of poop every day. Like, let's all close our eyes and imagine what 10 million pounds of poop looks like, and just think, like, this is going into, you know, treatment plants that it's just being, you know, it's just being wasted. Like, this is an incredible resource that's just being wasted, and waste is just a resource we haven't figured out what to do with yet, you know. And it's like, meanwhile, we're making fertilizer and stuff out of petroleum, you know. It's like, wait a minute, how is this happening? Like, petroleum's like a non-renewable resource. We're going through it fast. We're putting these chemicals into our food that's toxic, you know. And it's like, here, like, the most unbelievable fertilizer is coming out of our ass every day, you know. And it's like, how can we harness that and use that to support our agriculture? I think it's going to start happening sooner than we think, you know. It's like, can't go on wasting all this good shit. Wow. Whoa. All from shit, man. All from our poop.
Methane burn off.
So now what we're doing is we're gonna pipe this into a mango dryer, and yeah. ¿Y para cuánto tiempo tiene que dejarlo así?
Ahorita puede durar como una hora,
That one right there is Keppel. You ever hear of Keppel?
Yeah, I haven't eaten it yet.
My one is loaded. Yeah, it might be right
Wow.
now.
Look at the new growth on it. Beautiful.
Yeah, Keppel is it's the only Asian annona. Yeah, they call it here cat's balls.
So you said you're kind of an Annona nut?
I'm a big fan, yeah.
We're walking through a food forest down the street.
Yeah. Chama.
So you guys gonna put a notice on my door if I forget to cut my yard in here, or what?
No.
Wax shampoo.
Fruit Creek. We got Fruit Creek.
Mmm.
To buy my flight ticket when we go out. I'm like,
Has a little flavor, actually.
Okay, so up here. Yeah, this is our yoga space. It's built by a local woman who owns a teak plantation. And teak is a non-native wood, but 20 years ago they planted it everywhere in Costa Rica, so you might as well use it up and stop planting it and plant natives. But Basically, she does all the, all the teak comes from her farm. She brings her crew, and these two buildings are pretty much all teak. This is the fruit capital of Costa Rica, and you can see why.
Was this planted from a seed, or is this a grafted tree?
Grafted tree.
3.5 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's pumping. I mean, look. And what's cool is there's bigger ones, and there's ones that are just starting, which will just stagger your production. Coffee, regular coffee, breadfruit. Like when choosing where you want to live, like you set criteria, and there's no limit to your dreams. Like for me, I wanted to be on a crystal clear river that I could, jump into, so it was like, that was my criteria. I wanted to be between 400 and 700 meters above sea level so I can grow all the fruits that I like. I wanted to be within an hour of San Jose. So it's like, you list your criteria. You can do the same thing when like finding a lover or a partner. It's like, what are the things that I'm looking for? The clearer you can become with what you're looking for, the easier it is to find them.
You ready? I see you got a nice ripe one. What's ripening over here?
Suriname cherry.
Pretty good. Any different than Florida?
It's almost as good.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. I hope this brings a little attention to you, and if you want to tell people where you're at, how they can find you, that'd be awesome.
I mean, I think that what I'd say more than anything is question everything. Question where your food is coming from, question where your healing is coming from, question where everything is coming from. Who's making the decisions? Question them all, because you've got to get back on course. Our farm on the Caribbean is called Punta Mona. It's puntamona.org. And Punta Mona Center for Regenerative Design and Botanical Studies. And here's La Ecovilla, laecovilla.org. And our festival is envisionfestival.com. So yeah, come down to Costa Rica, look us up, and let's eat fruit.
You guys heard it, Stephen Brooks. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share, most importantly, pound dirt.